All right, hello and welcome to this matchup between the Memphis Liberty and the Orlando Flames. Today is going to be an interesting game. We have some of the teams that surprised us in the offseason with their moves, and we have teams that surprised us with their performance last season, making a debut today. As, of course, you can see the lineup here scrolling across the screen as we go ahead and look at the expert picks, and doesn't look good for Orlando. 27% chance of winning based on 1,000 simulations. And every single one of these has Memphis scoring 30-plus points and Orlando scoring 6, 0, 3, and 13. So this will be an interesting game. 100%. Let's go ahead and head on down to the train depot. So as we arrive here, Orlando will be the home team today. Memphis choosing heads. And of course, Orlando chooses to receive. So Memphis now will receive the ball in the second half. Orlando wanted to make a statement now, make it early. So let's go ahead and see if this will work out for them. It's Bueller with the kick into the end zone. What a kick. Of course, Martin with the return. Oh my goodness, absolute stiff arm, my goodness. Still shy of the 20, so they are a bit behind the 8 ball in the hidden yardage section. Of course, Trey Money Geechee. And at quarterback, Sean Fisher, no more. The second-year quarterback now to lead the Flames to a potential win at home. Brown in the backfield gets the handoff. Brown immediately, oh my goodness. Wow, Brown making nothing on a something. The right tackle, I believe that was James Moeller, just getting beat off the block. Brown evading the TFL. It's not looking too good so far for Orlando. Brown with the handoff. Brown charging forward, gain of 9 yards. And I think if this Orlando team sticks to the run game, I think this could definitely be something that will aid them in the long term. Sean Miles now coming in. Sean Miles, a superstar in the league, but again, a massive drop-off as Trey Money Geechee gets hit as he throws. Trent with the reception for 4 yards, 2nd and 6. So kind of like Oklahoma City, Orlando has a running back problem. Cameron Brown is the starting running back, but then after that, it really starts to fall off almost immediately. Some would even say if we were to grade them 1 to 99, it'd be a 10-point drop-off in the grades. Geechee, oh my goodness, the center just blown up. Arrington. Josh Weiner just absolutely demolished at the point of attack. Wow, no chance for anything. Orlando now going to look to motion 83 to the inside. Miller back to pass. Geechee is going to launch it. Ooh, number 14 had a shot. Jordan Trent unable to come down with it. Probably not going to be registered as a drop, but man, that hit him right in the hands. So now Orlando will go ahead and kick off to Memphis. Well, more like punt. Of course, the way these punters kick everything, it might as well be a kick. Pinkerton of return at the 25. They'll mark him down to the 26. There's been a lot of punters who, oh man, they absolutely just demolish the ball when they punt it, kicking it from the 20-yard line into the other end zone. It's ridiculous. So now featuring the Memphis offense as we hand off to Collins. Marquise Collins gain of 3 yards. Jalen Weathers returning after his very, very productive season last year. Collins in at running back. Michael Newbold, fullback. So Weathers surveying quite a long time. Hands off to Collins. Collins trying. Swarmed by defenders. Gain of 4 yards. And this Orlando defense not wanting to give anything up. Their offense, bit of the question mark in the league. Defense playing above where they need to be. As Lane with the easy first down and a critical block down the left. Taken down by number 20 after a 36-yard gain. Jesse Lane now being subbed down for Marquise Collins. And Julian Melville subbing in for Trenton Battles. Weathers back to pass, 4-man rush. They got a spy, blitzer on the right. Oh my goodness, the interception. And he'll be taken down inside the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. Oh my goodness, a Hail Mary attempt by Memphis. A gut check play, and they get gut checked. Orlando taking away the first turnover of the game. Brown gonna charge forward for 5 yards. That is not what you want to see. And for the offensive coordinator, or in fact the owner of the Memphis Liberty, as a promising drive for points now just gets resulted in nothing. As Trimoni Gucci heads to Brown. Brown, I mean, this offensive line really needs some assistance up in the middle of it all. So go ahead and look at the Orlando offensive line. Their best one being Brett Fairbanks, the left tackle, but outside of that, they got a lot of holes, a lot of issues, a lot of concerns, and this Memphis D-line, not something you want to have that with. 3rd and 8, here we go, dropping it off to the running back, and he is unable to find it. Sean Miles running the route, turning around, and just not finding the ball. So no points off of a turnover, and we basically reset back to 0, as Memphis now simply starts off with better field position now. Oh my goodness, the spin move by Pinkerton. So now Memphis really didn't have a change of anything. In fact, all they did was just start the second drive a little bit further than their first. So now they're going to hand it off to Collins, and Collins, oh my goodness, Collins had a lane. Number 90, after a gain of 7. Who was that? That was defensive tackle. Oh my gosh. A2 Ate Moala. Absolutely stopping a would-be touchdown play. Weathers back to pass, 4-man rush, got a lot of blockers up front, clean pocket. Wade, what are you doing? Oh no, lost a 4, 3rd and 7. A comeback route, unfortunate. DeMarcus Elder with the tackle. Should have been an easy 2-yard, maybe a 1-yard minimum gain. Now it's a loss of 4. And they're going to try to get Collins to get the first down. Collins, stopped by number 93, gain of 3. Jesse Lane now coming in, and this might be a punt. So now the Memphis special teams will try to pin Orlando inside the 10. And can they do it? Ooh, probably not. They do not. Unfortunate, defensive back number 37, Mr. Kennedy, has a leg injury, but he is expected to return. So thankfully Orlando should be able to go ahead and get some plays off, allowing him to recover and return, as number 14 just off in his own world on the left side of the field. He did not lay a single block down. He just ran on the left side of the field. It's Trimoni Gucci under center, motioning number 88, Galbraith, the tight end. Hands off to Brown. Brown, one man to beat. He does. Gets the first down. Number 64. Oh my goodness. Offensive line, number 76, Thornley, injured. So that is their right guard, Justin Thornley. One of their better offensive linemen on that right side of the offensive line. He's replaced by number 77, Alex, as Geechee off to the left to Miles. So now we got to figure out this movement that they just did. Cameron Brown, I think. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of movement that I just saw occur. So 65, the right tackle, James Moeller. 77 now at right guard. Brown getting some easy yardage. 75. I don't see that. No, 77 if I knew how to read. So 77, the backup right tackle, Alex Weinstock. He's going to take over at right guard. Geechee back to pass. He's got all day. He's got 2 men on 1 DB. Oh. How do you... And now... So now offensive lineman number 66, the center, Josh Weiner, is now injured. So now Orlando's just dropping like flies. Gain of 8 yards. He's not expected to return, though. That's the first injury today. Not expected to return. This could be very, very bad. As Geechee back to pass. Throwing over. Of course, number 10 unable to come down with that, so this will now be a punt. But my goodness, I mean... The amount of injuries that just got sustained on this one drive alone. Defensive back and 3 offensive linemen. That is ridiculous. DeLuca with the punt, pinning them inside the 15, potentially the 13. And I am correct. It is at the 13-yard line. So now Memphis able to take back possession. I believe Orlando's still missing the defensive back. Hands it off to Collins. Collins riding behind 3 defenders. First number 26 with the takedown, gain of 12 yards. And now Thornley, the offensive lineman, returns. No sign yet from the defensive back. Marquise Collins, 5 rushes, 29 yards. He's going to motion him out to the left. Weathers is going to take it for himself, and he's going to rush for 8 yards. Gain of 6, I apologize. 2nd and 4, so now Kennedy finally comes back. So now Memphis will have to contend with a better starting defensive back now. And at play. So number 18 gets motion to the left, that is Mr. Banks. They fake the handoff, play action. Weathers wisely throwing that away as 3 defenders surrounded him. Play action hammer looking for that corner top left post route. Jalen Weathers 1 for 3, minus 4 yards, but 1 touchdown. So 1 interception, I apologize, not a touchdown. He did throw it in the end zone. The player did go down in the end zone, but fortunately not a touchdown for anyone here. So Jalen Weathers starting off with a 1 for 5, negative 4 yards and 1 interception. Possibly got to be the worst quarterback rating in existence as we end the first quarter 0-0. I don't think I've seen anything like it. I think that stat line is going to be hung up in the Hall of Fame for the most irreplaceable stat line ever. I don't think we'll ever see Jalen Weathers perform this poorly again, but wow. Geechee hands off to Brown. Brown with the fullback and a load of blockers, but there is a mosh pit. And a 4 yard 2nd and 6. So now Orlando looking to get anything. I mean, both these teams are really... Orlando struggling from injuries across the board, and Memphis just can't seem to do anything, despite the power plays that they were able to make. Geechee back to pass. 3-man rush. He's got all day. Launching to Galbraith. Oh my goodness, just throwing a man off of him. Gain 13 yards. Alex Rubio now coming in for Galbraith. It's a bit difficult when you have a 212-pound man trying to bring you down and you have to throw him off with 1 arm. As Cameron Brown spins around. Oh my goodness, gain of 4 yards. Should have been 1, maybe 2. So now Barrett Galbraith comes in and Sean Miles subs back in. Sean Miles in the back. Geechee under center. This potentially could be a run to the right. And it is Miles with loads of blockers and loads of space. You don't need to be fast. You don't need to be talented. You don't even need to be the top 5 running back to get a first down on that play. Sean Miles 2 for 16, 1 for 9 on 2 targets. So now Brown back in at it. Trips to the right. There is a flag down, possibly holding on the defense, or offense, I apologize. Brown made an incredible play, but no, it is holding against the defense. So that'll be a 7-yard gain. Cameron Brown with the play of the week, in my opinion. We need to frame that. Absolute moss. So now Geechee, Miles in the back after Brown contorted his body to get that pass and 2 defenders. Miles had a blocker, but he decided to take the outside man instead of getting the most immediate defender. So now it's 2nd and 8. Brown back in. Geechee. Block is picked up by the running back. He's got a man. It's Galbraith. Stiff arms a man, taken down. Gain of 15. That could be a sub out. It is Alex Rubio. So this is something that Orlando potentially needs to look into upgrading, is the fitness. But as I look at it, he's got a really high fitness, so I don't really know what Barrett Galbraith is subbing out for. Is Trent gained 2 yards? There is a flag, however. It is on the defense, holding again. So now it'll be 1st and 10. And now Galbraith comes back in. This is not what you want to see if you're Memphis. So now with 4 shots at the end zone, apologies 3, because no one goes for it on 4th down. You have Galbraith back out there. No, they're only doing 5 wide receivers. So never mind. This is what you want to see if you're Memphis. 3-man rush. Got a man open on the left. He does. He hits him. Boy. No way. What? Magic Boy, a prospect, has to be. There's no way someone actually... Yeah, he's a prospect. Okay. Magic... Cameron Brown rushing in. 4 yards. Unable to get the touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Defensive lineman number 48, Mr. Webb, leg injury. Expected return, though. So Magic Boy with an 11-yard gain, possibly the best play of his career so far. Brown in the backfield. 5 defensive linemen lined up. Hands off to Brown. Brown, oh my goodness, loss of 2. Moss with the TFL, 93. 3rd and goal. Sean Miles now comes in. If I'm Orlando, I would have kept Brown in there, so now this will be difficult. We're going to see, can Miles get the touchdown? Second quarter, 5 minutes remaining. Geechee off to Miles. Miles into the end zone. Touchdown. So Miles will take all the credit. Brown will sub back in for the field goal. Not exactly something you want to see if you're the starting running back, but Freitag will boot it up. But, of course, as we all know, Mr. Faro Trade Gaming has instilled a good culture in Orlando, a culture of winning, and, of course, a culture of, I was going to say, an alliance, but that's not really the word I'm looking for. But he has a culture of positivity. Right? You don't want to have players come in and who want to be the be-all, end-all. If I don't get my targets, I'm out. So a lot of these players on the team right now, some adjustments have been made by Orlando on the roster. Not too much, though. But he primarily focuses on players who are team-oriented. Of course, that's what he gets. It's Cameron Brown. Jalen Weathers, 2 defenders in his face. Oh, my goodness. 2 chances for an interception. All comeback routes, so definitely not something you want to see if you're an offensive coordinator. There's now Weathers under center. Motions out, number 0. Hands off to Collins. Collins, stiff arm, spins, taken down. He can only do so much. Mo Sewell now comes in for Elijah Jennings. TFL man. Jesse Lane now subbing in for Collins. Memphis now in a precarious situation. Handing off the play action, throwing into quadruple coverage. Unable to get it. This will be a punt. Oh my goodness. Now Blackwelder, number 66 for the offensive line of Memphis, sustained an arm injury, and he is not expected to return. That's their right tackle, Corey Blackwelder. He will not be able to return, so in his stead, I'm trying to find anybody here that's a solid backup on this depth chart. It looks like it could be anybody. So we're going to find out. A lot of players all graded the same. As Geechee hands off to Brown. Brown pushing forward. Brown with some incredible plays. Gain of 6 yards. So Jackson Eugene subs in for Brian Cousins. A lot of players, so we'll find out on this next drive for Memphis. Meanwhile, Orlando crossing the 50-yard line, looking to make any points happen. Flag, so it could be a false start as Brown gets major yardage. 18 yards, could be coming back. And again, it's on Memphis. So Orlando, all this time, right, I've been saying offensive penalties. But let me be clear. It's mainly because there's more times that the offenses commit penalties than the defense. So it's not that I'm underestimating Orlando's discipline. It's that I'm not I'm overestimating the defense's capabilities to overplay penalties. As Miles gets a gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7. So this Memphis defense really needs to step it up. They need to pull a Memphis versus Austin type game, shut out Orlando, and score points. Geechee, 3-man rush. He's got all day in the pocket. Going to throw to Lorenzo Martin. And my goodness, you couldn't have dialed up a better play if you asked for it. As Cameron Brown subs in for Sean Miles. So Tramoni Geechee, 60%, 68 yards, 10 yards per attempt. Geechee, 4-man rush, late blitzer over the middle. Geechee wrapped up, loss of 8. Try to get away. Brian Cousins now with the sack. A little bit of a confusing effort on Geechee's part. You would want to go left. Everyone was running right, but I suppose Geechee saw something we didn't. But it doesn't matter now as Geechee back to pass, and he's taken down again. Loss of 6, back-to-back. That's Arrington, number 94. As Braden Arrington, the starting defensive tackle, number 1 on the depth chart, gets the sack. So 12 yards later, 14 yards later, they now get a chance to pass. Geechee's going to run for it. Loss of 1. And Orlando had the greatest shot with Memphis losing Webb. Trayvon Webb, their best defensive end. They now are forced to kick a field goal from 7 and 25. As Freitag made the field goal. So if I'm Orlando, I would sit here and I'd say, listen, Okay, we got sacked 3 times in a row. Let's never pass another game or another play ever again inside the 20-yard line, because we just got moved back 24 yards. 25, technically, as Wade brings it up just shy of the 15. No, they'll mark him at the 15. You got 3 points from that, and that entire time they lost their best defensive end, and you didn't run it once. So Weathers going to motion number 83 to the inside. That's Kelly. So back to pass. 4-man rush for Orlando. He's going to throw it. Triple coverage. That'll be 2nd and 10. Shotgun ace posts for Memphis. Attempted to try and divert. Again, Jalen Weathers. This stat line just gets more Hall of Fame worthy every minute. 1 for 7, -4 yards, 1 interception. You couldn't possibly do worse, can you? Weathers throwing. Still no completion so far. 3rd and 10. Intended for Andrew Moore, the tight end. 12 seconds have passed. Memphis scatterbrained right now. 2-minute warning. Newbold almost got a full first down. Wouldn't have done much. Simply would have made Memphis go back to passing on 1st, 2nd down, and then run again on 3rd. Of course, now that I realize that means that Orlando is, in fact, in the 2-minute warning during that whole time. So, of course, that is why they did not perform the way they should have. But getting 3 points irregardless is pretty great. A lot of times you throw interceptions or turn the ball over, so just getting 3 is really nice in the 2-minute warning. As Geechee will motion the man to the inside. That's number 14, Trent. Back to pass. He's going to lob that into quadruple coverage. And that will go incomplete. 2nd and 10. Trey Money Geechee, let's all remind you that he was 60%, 68 yards beforehand. That is a flag, a first down by Lorenzo Martin, holding, but it will not count. They will decline. So now Orlando at the 45-yard line, just 15 yards away from an easy field goal attempt. Geechee, Brown. 5-man rush, throwing to triple coverage. That pass is dropped. 2nd and 10. Trey Money Geechee, 7 of 13, 78 yards, maintaining that 10-yard per average, almost at a 10.8 if you ask me. Geechee back to pass, 4-man rush. Ooh, number 14 almost able to undercut the DBs. Not fast enough, though. It's Jordan Trent, their 2nd wide receiver on the depth chart, trying to make some plays happen. Back to pass is Geechee, 4-man rush, 1-on-1. Trent finally makes the play. Gain of 37 yards, was almost there for the touchdown. That'll move Orlando within a comfortable position of scoring 3 points minus a turnover. Geechee back to pass, crowded pocket. Even worse, crowded end zone. That should have been intercepted if you ask me, but sometimes that's why you're a defensive back, as Geechee heads over 10 yards now per throw. 8 of 16, 50%, just barely. 2-minute warning is killing both these quarterbacks. Geechee back to pass, lobbing it into triple coverage to 83. That's Trayvon Miller, their 3rd wide receiver on the depth chart. 3rd and goal at this point. You hope they run it just because Brown can usually get about 8 yards. When they don't, 4-man rush and Galbraith the tight end. What an incredible play. What an incredible play call. And now Orlando goes up 17-0. 30 seconds remain. Freitag with the boot. The PAT is good. Freitag boots it deep into the end zone. And Torrey Wade will take this a little bit beyond the 15. And if you've noticed, the team that's winning the hidden yardage game is winning the game. So a lot of times, a lot of people will make fun of me for using that terminology, but here we are, 17-0 right now. Memphis needing something, anything, and it's intercepted by Elder. And Elder, oh my goodness, Elder returned it up to the 20-yard line. Wow. So now Jalen Weathers is possibly 1 for 10 -4 yards and 2 interceptions. Orlando going to go for the kill here. Motioning Brown out to the right. Geechee back to pass. 4-man rush. Lobbing for the end zone. Almost intercepted. My goodness. Here we go. Geechee flanked by the running back and the fullback. Here we go. Got 15 seconds. Going to motion number 80 to the inside. Back to pass. Geechee. He's got all day. He's going to throw to the end zone. It's caught by Lorenzo Martin. Orlando putting the pain on here on Memphis. 2 turnovers, 2 scores. Tremonte Geechee, 10 of 20, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Freitag booting it deep. And if I am Memphis, I kneel the ball out. Oh, no. Another injury, number 65. That was their starting right tackle, James Mueller. Oh, no. That was one of their better right. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. All right, we're going to have to see how this works out now. So, Alex Weinstock, the backup right tackle, is the starting right guard. Was the starting right guard. I believe Thornley came back. We're going to have to find out. I think Weiner's the one that's out for the rest of the game. So 1st and 10, Weathers back to pass, lobbing it again, and it's intercepted again by Jennings. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. We're going to do the first ever halftime stat report. There's no way. Freitag looking to oh no, it's not going to be good. Ah. They almost had a chance. They almost had a chance to go up 27-0, 24-0. Memphis has been here before. We got to check these stats out. We're only going to check the quarterback out. We're not going to check too much out. And that was almost another one. We need to check these stats out. 1 for 11, -4 yards, and 3 interceptions. Oh, my goodness. What a stat line. Oh, my. So, Jalen Weathers having the most prolific season he's ever had. Walking in here like he owns the place, and Orlando's defense not allowing that to ever occur again. Wade with the return. Short at the 20-yard line. So Weathers under center, Collins in the back. Hands off to Collins. Collins in the backfield, tackled. Second and 12, Weathers motioning the... Oh, he's motioning the man to beside him. Weathers take it down, though. Loss of 8 yards. Orlando just absolutely pouring more grease onto the fire. My goodness. 3rd and 20. Handoff. Almost sacked. Intercepted by Jennings again. It's a 4th interception. Wow. Oh, my goodness. This has got to be the most turnovers I've ever seen in a game and possibly the most interceptions I've ever seen. Back to pass, Geechee. Block picked up, going for the end zone. It's a touchdown to Miller. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Orlando is up 30-0. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. I'm stun-locked. This is not what we expected from this Memphis team. Wade. Oh, my goodness. At this point, if Memphis keeps playing like this, San Antonio might end up with the 1st overall pick again. Wow. Weathers back to pass. 4-man rush. Thrown to the right. Caught by Newbold. His first catch. And he'll be at 0 yards on the day for passing. Collins off to the right. Collins shaking a defender off. Gain of 2 yards. Marquise Collins, 8 for 29, 0 receptions on 1 target. Marquise. Weathers lobbing it deep, intercepted again by Jennings. This is, oh my goodness. There is no way, no how. Geechee sacked. Finally, something to stop this crowd from exploding.
Hike.
Geechee throwing. Ooh, almost intercepted.
Set hike.
Geechee throwing over the middle, caught by Trent.
Go.
This has got to be something new. Brown off to the left. Brown charging forward. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting this right with the commissioner as I'm updating. This is a new record. This is wow. This is all brand new. I'm trying to get information as we're calling the game right now. Geechee hands off to Brown. Brown with the first down and then some. Oh my goodness, number 44 with the stop. Cameron Brown, 15 of 83. Sean Miles. Cherry Money Geechee having the game of his career. First and 10, pitches out to Brown, or Miles. Miles has a lot of blocks getting pushed over. Kendarius Holiday subbing in for Jaden Hardison. Geechee under center, Miles in the back. First and 10 at the 16. Motion number 88, Galbraith out to the left. Hands off to Miles. Ooh, TFL by number 44. Loss of 3, Mr. Brown. Geechee off to Brown. Brown, lots of running room, lots of blocks. Gain of 8 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6. And now, wow, we've really reached the bottom of the barrel here. Sam Ligon, the 3rd running back. So they're going to hand off to him. And Ligon not able to get it. So this will stop Orlando from scoring back-to-back-to-back touchdowns. So Freitag now with another field goal, putting up 34-0. And honestly, like, this game normally would be like, it's a blowout, not much to talk about, it's unfun. I kind of want to watch this train wreck happen even more. It's a slow motion car crash with a train just bulldozing through both the cars. This is incredible. What is Weathers going to do again? Can he put up 6 interceptions? Can Orlando get any other turnover besides an interception? We'll find out here as Collins in the back, most likely a run to the left. Weathers, no, back to pass. 4-man rush, blitzer in his face, throwing over the middle. Ooh, deflected, almost caught. Who was that on the left side? I think on the far left, that's going to be their number 1 wide receiver. That might have been Torrey Wade. Or it might have been Ahmed Banks. That could have almost deflected into their hands. They're going to pinch off to Collins. Collins got some blocks. Collins in the mosh pit, shoving forward, gain of 7. 3rd and 3. Takes the handoff, play action, throwing him. Oh my goodness, I don't know what just happened there. 4th and 1, they'll be forced to punt. Jennings with the return. Jennings with 2 interceptions on the day. And Memphis is sorely going to have to look in the mirror after this. I do believe Orlando is going to get all 15 points here. They hand off to Brown. Brown, oh my goodness, he was all but a spin away. Gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Memphis is not going to be able to score anytime soon. Orlando has a chance to put up One more point, and they will get all 5 points offensively as they hand off to Brown in the pass game. I mean, that might as well have been a handoff if you think about it. He was so wide open. Such an easy catch. Cameron Brown with the first down. So they need to score one more point, and they will get all 5 points on the offense. They're currently holding 5 on the defense with 0 points allowed, and they're holding 5 for the obvious victory. Orlando could be coming out looking like the best team in the league right now. Geechie hands off to Miles. Miles taken down, loss of 1. So we'll go ahead and look at the player upgrades over here. There were some upgrades that were made. Orlando, of course, only had 1 upgrade, and they spent it on Trey Geechie's speed. 1 point. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What was that? Who was that? Why was that? Was that Trayvon Miller who just left a wide open pass? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, Orlando, you can't be playing with your food. Memphis came back down 24-0. If you let Memphis come back and win, this will be the ultimate failure. 5 turnovers and you still lose? And now Collins is being left wide open game 7. This could be it. It would take a massive amount of turnovers, but I'm telling you right now, if Orlando plays with their food, it's not going to be pretty. Hands off to Collins. Collins with his first down. Gain of 12 yards. Oh my goodness. What was an easy 42 points, 41 points, apologies. It's just... the most boneheaded play I've ever seen. There is a flag against the offense, so there was no time for Memphis to ever give penalties, but now they'll give themselves one. 1st and 15 now. So now Justin Kelly is popping up on our stat sheet. 0 for 2. Jalen Weathers over the middle to Torrey Wade, gain of 10. End of the 3rd, and we're heading into the 4th quarter. And this is just... This could be interesting. As Collins off to the left, trying to stiff arm. Unfortunate. Tacklers rallying the way. There is Vinny Knox, the defensive end for Orlando, the rookie defensive end. 3rd defensive end on the depth chart, by the way, which means they were playing a unique strategy there. I don't know why. But fair enough, Vinny made the play. Collins taken down after gain of 2, and you can definitely tell Memphis has... They've thrown in the towel on passing. They've given up. So we shall see. Jennings off. Trey Geechie under center. Brown in the backfield. Geechie off to the left to Galbraith. Gain of 3 yards. Oh no, Galbraith does have a head injury, but he is expected to return. So despite all the front running, all the fun that Orlando's been having, Galbraith is going to be out. He's probably going to miss next week's game 2 if there is any sort of protocol for that. Brown muscle manning his way through it all. There's a face mask, so it'll be 1st and 10 anyways. So at this point, if you're Orlando, you kind of want to look at the game and go, okay, look, we've sustained like 17,000 injuries today. The CVS receipt is going to look ridiculous. So perhaps don't play in pads for practice this week. As Geechie back to pass, he's got all day. He's going to launch it downfield. Oh, number 14, Jordan Trent. You had it. It was a 2-on-1 situation. Trey Geechie, 14 for 27, 3 touchdowns, 215 yards. Fakes the handoff, running back to block, throwing it downfield, and again, Jordan Trent unable to come down with it. So, this whole time I'm thinking the 15 points that Orlando's going to get, They probably need to be boosted into, wow, that is some horrible catching. Lorenzo Martin. I'm not joking, you guys. This wide receiver on a scale of 1 to 99 has a 67 catch. Everyone besides the starting wide receiver Lorenzo Martin cannot catch a cold as Brown off to the right. So if I'm Orlando, if you're still here, Mr. Pharaoh Trade Gaming. Oh my goodness. Now Cameron Brown is injured with a knee injury and not expected to return. So there goes the entire offense for Orlando as back to pass is Geechee going to launch it to the end zone. Lorenzo Martin giving his 4th touchdown. Hate to see it. Cameron Brown hopefully only have tweaking the knee. Is Freitag going to boot it with a touchdown? Tweaking your knee, as Galbraith does return, so he was cleared for concussion protocol. Man, that's something you didn't want to see. Because again, as I was talking about earlier, Sean Miles, he's very fast, but he's not good. He's not good. He's a fast running back, but to be able to hold on to anything outside of that, it's not really great. You need speed, I get it, but man, he's very liable to fumble. So now we're back at the Weathers train wreck that is occurring here. Hands off to Collins. Collins immediately taken down. Gain of 2, apologies. So used to saying this team is losing. So Marquise Collins 13 for 49. So Weathers motions the man to the left.
Go!
Weathers back to pass. Blitzer in his face. Gets it off to Collins. Gain of 9 yards. So they'll say that's a first down, as he stretched the ball out past the first down marker before going out of bounds. Hand off to Collins. Collins looking for some yards, diving forward, gain of 8. And at this point, you're just trying to score something. You're trying to score any amount of points. You're being blown out. It's not a home game, thank God. If this was a home game, you'd have much worse things to think about. It's Tyshawn Kennedy now coming in for Mo Sewell. So Weathers laying in the backfield, full back to the right, back to pass, 4-man rush, throwing over the middle, quadruple coverage. No interception that time as Marquise Collins subs back in for Jesse Lane. So 2nd and 10. Weathers hands off to Collins. Collins has lots of room. He should have gone up the middle instead, trying to go into the right. 3rd and 4. Jesse Lane. And it's not to be unexpected. You're being blown out. You're being told to play in a game that doesn't matter right now. And just trying to make the plays that you think are good. And Torrey Wade will drop that. It'll be 4th and 4. And I don't really know if you go for this, but they will. Jalen Weathers, 6 for 21, 29, 5 interceptions. I believe Memphis' owner was looking for 5 touchdowns, not 5 interceptions. So now Orlando will get the ball back. 1st and 10 of the 49-yard line. Sean Miles, now the new running back. Back to pass, 3-man rush. 4th man coming in from the top. Lorenzo Martin, gain of 11 yards. 1st and 10. 4 minutes, just over 20 seconds remain. Miles in the back, this is looking to be a run play. Don't really know why they would pass it, but then again, their running back did get injured. So the motion number 80, Martin to the left. He's going up to get some blocks. Miles getting some good blocks. Gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 5. So now a little over 3:47 up on the clock. Miles back in the backfield, looking for another run play, potentially to the left, but they will motion. Number 83, Miller, to the right. So they're going to hand off to the right, and Miles, with his speed, is able to get an 11-yard gain. Now, again, I want to make it known that while Sean Miles is performing very well, number 1, they are in a blowout victory. Number 2, the minute Miles gets hit in the backfield by a heavy-hitting linebacker or defensive lineman, that ball is going to come out. Sean Miles, Sam Ligon, both cannot perform in the pass game. Cameron Brown barely could. So this offense really needs to figure out, do they need to trade some draft picks, figure out this running back situation, as Ligon, sorry. Gain of 8. Orlando really just trying to mercy kill Memphis at this point, and it's respectable. That's something that you don't want to see if you're an owner walking into a game for your first week getting blown out like this, but sometimes your quarterback makes decisions you don't trust.
Hike.
Sean Miles, lots of blockers, but runs straight into a defender. So for some reason, Memphis will call a timeout. They think they can score 41 points in one drive. This is not Quidditch. This is not swoop racing. As Miles gets TFL'd, loss of 2, and that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Cameron Brown, major TLB. Cousins does have a shoulder injury, so despite all that, Memphis does leave with a major injury. Brian Cousins now out, their starting linebacker. 3rd and goal, Miles in the backfield. Could be another run. It is, and he is TFL'd again, loss of 2, so they'll go for a field goal. And at this point, I mean, you know, you gotta wonder, what is the point of not letting Orlando score? Like, I get it's pride, sure, but just get the ball back, kneel the clock out. Orlando's not going to call a timeout, and if they do, well, it's because they've never had wins like this, and just get the game over with. You've thrown 5 interceptions in 3 quarters. Torrey Wade has never returned the ball past the 20-yard line. At a situation where you're just sitting here wondering what went wrong. How can you go from a team that gets blown out? And that's intercepted by Crisp. And Crisp will seal Weathers' fate. 6 interceptions, a brand new record. And this will be clock controlled after this play right here. Miles, a first down, gain of 15. Memphis will call a timeout. Orlando going to be the great host and clock control that inside the tent. As Trey Manigici, his first ever starting game, his first ever game where he leads the team. Didn't have the greatest of stat lines. Didn't have the greatest of efficiency in the beginning of the game. But they capitalized on every single turnover. And I get the 6th one didn't really count. I get that. But they've capitalized on every single turnover. And that's what you need from this offense. Oh, my God. I'm going to break the 4th wall. I don't think that should count. I'm just going to say that. I don't think the Sean Miles injury should be counted. They just kneeled the ball down. I just think Axis is just having an aneurysm. So Trey Manigici, over 50%, 17-31, 267, 4 touchdowns. Jennings, 3 interceptions, 1 TFL, 3 tackles. Final score, 44-0. Jalen Weathers, 6 of 23, 29 yards, and 6 interceptions. Marquise Collins, obviously the only offensive player here to be of note, 15 for 63. Arrington, 2 sacks, 1 TFL, 4 tackles. Team leader, Orlando with a 123 rating, and Memphis is the first ever team with a 0 rated quarterback. So, there's that. Total plays, 79-44, rush, 41-20, 38 pass to 24, total yards, 406 to 142. 168 rushing yards to 128, 238 pass yards to just 21. 1 sack given up by Orlando, 5 sacks. Apologies, that is backwards. 1 sack. Memphis gave up 1 sack. Orlando gave up 5. Turnover battle, however, Orlando took all 6 of those interceptions. So, I don't know how else to say it besides Jalen Weathers single-handedly lost in this game. So, there are the stats. Jesse Lane getting the most ridiculous average I've ever seen in my life. Receiving, of course. So Orlando across the board is going to get a ton of buffs, a ton of boosts. All their players are going to progress a lot. As for the Memphis team, it's going to be regressions. It's going to be a lot Weathers is going to drop in awareness heavily. Kick returns, 8 for Torrey Wade, having to work all day, every day. No field goals, not even extra points. Casey Bueller did not see the field at all outside of the kickoff that they did for Orlando to start the game. 6 punts, 0 inside the 20, 1 touchback. Memphis, obviously 55% from Mr. Trey Money Geechee. 19 of 96, 5.1 average. Touchdown for Mr. Sean Miles. Receiving, it's going to be just under 100 yards for Lorenzo Martin. But of course, as you can see, all the touchdowns here, 2 to Martin, 1 to Trayvon Miller, 1 to Barrett Galbraith. Lorenzo Martin, because of how many interceptions, I think, I'm trying to figure out how he got 8 tackles. Oh, you know what? It was all the kick returns. So Lorenzo Martin will be the first ever offensive player to lead a team in tackles simply because there was nobody to tackle on the defensive side. So that's a new stat and record. Interceptions, Elijah Jennings, 3. Crisp, 1. Elder, 1. And Stephenson, 1. And actually, Jennings, 29-year-old, might be a tied record. TFL, Vinny Knox, Jennings, Elder, Kennedy, TDs, none. Deflected passes, Kennedy with 3. Forced fumbles, 0. And 0 recovered. As for returns, Elijah Jennings, 5 punt returns, 1 kick return for 22 yards by Lorenzo Martin. Stefan Freitag missed a field goal. Only 3 or 4, but made 5 extra points. Made 4 punts for Michael DeLuca, but no touchbacks, no inside the 20. So that is it for all of us folks here at the NAGA studios. Thank you for watching. This was a beautiful train wreck. I hope to see you all next time for the other games.